Okay, so how to stay positive when others are negative? You've got a lot of good reasons for asking that question, and maybe I can help with that. Hi, I am Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm a positivity psychologist, and I'm entering into my 4th decade now of working with people on this very issue. We are affected heavily by the attitudes and opinions and energies of other people. Let's get into the very practical things that you can do to shift that back in your direction. And stick with me till the end. I've got a gift for you. I think this is exactly where we have to start, and that is choice. Until you see it as a choice, it's not. Awareness precedes choice. And the thing that I'm referring to here is your awareness of who is responsible for you. Now, it sounds obvious when I put it that way, but my job is to illuminate the obvious. It's really easy to defer our responsibility to others for our own emotional energy. So, for example, I just can't be positive around her. Really? Okay, so you're putting her in charge of your emotional freedom? Interesting. Or he is driving me crazy. Really? Now, I understand the reasons why we might say that. My invitation to you is that you connect with how you're either claiming and holding or deferring your responsibility for your emotional life to others. There's a little game that I play with my clients sometimes, and I especially like to do this with teenagers. I remember the last time I played this game was with Jason. Jason is 15. And he was having some issues with emotional regulation, getting tipped over a little bit by kids at school who would bully him, pick on him a little bit, and really try to goad him into losing his cool. So I decided to play this game. It's called the elephant game. In fact, you want to play with me? Here's the game. When we start the game, when I say game on, your job is to get me to say elephant. The word elephant. Easy enough? Okay, when I say game over, then either you won or you lost. And if you win, and with Jason, I had a $20 bill, okay? His eyes were getting about this big, and he's like, ooh, $20, this'll be easy. Awesome. Okay, so game on. And as soon as I said game on, Jason's like, what's that animal? I said the word, didn't I? But it's okay, I can say the word. What's that animal that has the big ears and it's in Africa? And I'm like, pachyderm? And he's like, yeah, but the other name for it, what is that called? And I'm like, Jason, I know what you're trying to get me to do. I'm not going to say it. And then he's like, okay, well, it's got a big trunk and it's gray and it's afraid of mice, which I thought was a myth. But go watch Mythbusters. They actually proved that, yeah, there's some validity to that. It's plausible. He keeps going on and on and on to try to get me to say it. And then he gets frustrated. And then he's like, please just say it. And I'm like, no, I've already decided not to say it. Do you want to keep playing? And he's like, let me think of something else. He thought that he could get me to say it. Who gets to decide whether I say elephant or not? Okay, so game over. Elephant, elephant, elephant. And once the game was over, I'm fine with saying it, right? And it was just to make a point. I didn't play him to beat him. I beat him to get his attention. Who gets to decide? Now let's switch. Jason, I'm going to try to get you to say elephant. And if I can get you to say it, you owe me $20. Are we clear? And he's like, do I get the $20 if... I said, yeah, if you don't say elephant during the game, I'll give you the $20. Yeah, you win. And he got this look on his face. Can you picture it? So Jason's 15, right? And he's like, okay, I got this, right? Yeah, and he did. I'm like, okay, ELEPHANT, what does that spell? He's like, I know what it spells. I'm just not going to say it. right? He got it. It clicked for him. Who's in charge of that? Emotional ownership. Who gets to drive you? Are you deferring? If you want to use this as a tool, try this. If you've been tipped over, if you feel emotionally hijacked, if you've been deferring that, another word is blame. If you're blaming someone else for how you feel, for your own emotional freedom, play the elephant game. And you don't even have to let them in on it. You're the one that they're trying to get to say elephant. And obviously that's just the analogy, right? That's the metaphor for what we're talking about here. They're trying to get you to lose your cool. And with Jason, that was happening every day at school. They were tipping him over every day and laughing about it as he got in trouble and went to the principal's office. So who gets to be in charge of this? Take a $20 bill. You can pick any amount that you want, but take a $20 bill and with a pencil, just write on the little edge there, the little border, just write, "You win, congratulations." And then fold that up, put it in your pocket. And that person who's been tipping you over is gonna try to get you to tip over again tomorrow, right? Just think about that. Oh, he drives me crazy. Oh, I can't stand her. She's so negative all the time. Whatever, whoever it is for you. Next time you're in their presence, if they tip you over, please take the 20 out of your pocket, give it to them with your congratulations. Congratulations, you win. What does that change for you? I think just playing the game changes the dynamic. And I think you see that, don't you? Who gets to decide that for you? Who's in charge? Own it. While we're on the topic of games, one of the games that negative energy loves is the, yeah, me too. And not only that, it's where we build on and complain about and join the conversation about all of the negativity. If you see that as the game, you get to decide whether you're going to play that game or not. The next time you're in a group where the energy or the conversation shifts over to criticism or blame or complaining, this happens all the time, by the way, in politics and policies that are going on in the company or in the community. Once it shifts that direction, you get to choose. Am I going to play that game? And it's okay for you to opt out. Remember, the energy that's being put out there is pulling you into a similar energy. So when you first notice it, what if you were to simply opt out? What if you were to say in that moment, for example, "Thank you, I'm not interested in going that direction." Now, does that sound rude? But what is more rude than that? Jumping in and contributing to that negative energy? How's that any better than politely opting out of a conversation? You have the power to say no. Exercise it. The last tip that I have for you today, to stay positive even when others around you are negative, is to protect your environment. Protect the input. I did an exercise with a group of people. So this was an audience. About 100 people were in this audience where I was speaking. I divided them into thirds. Okay, so this third of the room, the center third, and this third over here. And I had 2/3 of the room close their eyes. So these two groups, close your eyes. And then I showed this group a series of words, okay, very specific words that got their mind thinking in a certain way. And then I had them close their eyes, middle group, now you open your eyes. And I showed them 3 very different words. Different feel, different energy. Okay, now you close your eyes. Now, the third group, you open your eyes. And I showed them 3 very different words still. Now, to fill you in so that you understand how this even worked, the first group of words was yellow, banana, red, apple. Those 4 words. And I had them think about it and memorize them. Okay, the middle group was violence, crime, sex, abuse. Think about those. They're like, how did we get picked for these? Just think about them. Focus on them. Okay, and then they close their eyes. The third group got pull, tie, braided, climb. Think about those words. Okay, now everybody open your eyes. And when everybody opened their eyes, I showed them one word that had one letter missing. And if you can picture this, it was R blank P E. And I said, what is the missing letter? Well, everybody in this group, it's I, because they saw the word ripe, yellow, banana, red, apple. They knew it was an I. The middle group is like surprised. It's not an I, it's an A, because they saw the words crime, violence, sex, abuse. They knew it was an A. Well, these people over here, they're like, you're both up in the night. It's an O, because they saw the words climb, braided, pull. You get it though, right? The input matters. What are you doing to protect your mental space? What are you putting in there? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you participating in that creates the mental environment for your positivity? The input matters. Hopefully this is getting you thinking a little bit about how to stay positive when others around you are negative. And I hope that you can rub off on them and not the other way around. Wouldn't that be awesome? I promised you a gift. This is the gift. It's a mini book. I will give you a free digital download of my mini book, Portable Positivity, where I walk you step by step through a powerful positive psychology model. And this is cute. It'll fit in your pocket. The mini book is my gift to you. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/mini, M-I-N-I. drpauljenkins.com/mini. I'll put this right in your inbox. Sound like a good deal?